Oh, right up to the tree,
Well, the guy was screaming down the road probably.
and water and oil going down the street
So he,
because the pipe went down,
and it busted.
but it
into-
went through his radiator.
Recording
and
in
oil
progress.
came in.
Well, I had a neighbor once, we had a shared driveway, and he used to come home drunk, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he would ride up through my flower beds, and they were well off the driveway, they were 5, 6 feet in, and he would just destroy it. And I probably had 4 or 5 conversations, nice way, you know, please be a little careful though. He said, well, you shouldn't be planting flowers that close to the driveway. Okay, so, you know, I let it go another couple of weeks, and then I got annoyed, and then I went to the local plumbing supply house, and I bought a 8-inch cast iron pipe. This is probably 3/4 inch thick,
Tom, can you hear us?
4 feet.
I can hear you great, thank you.
Put it in the ground, so 2 feet was sticking out. Filled the center of it with concrete, okay? Painted it a nice green color, so it blended in wet drying. Put a nice white cap on it, put some decals on it, made a nice little lawn ornament out of it. Looked great. One night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, I hear this horrific noise. Wakes me up, like I'm running, looking out the window, and I see a car, and I couldn't tell what it was. I go outside. This guy had maybe pulled into the driveway. And through the oil pan, brought some damage into the engine. And he decided he was gonna sue me for, they sent me a lawyer's letter and all this nonsense and that. And I had put in no trespassing sign originally. And a friend of mine was an attorney, and I said to him, you know, geez, I don't want to get involved in a lawsuit. This is like ridiculous, you know. I showed him the pictures with that. He says, oh, give me the picture. He takes the picture with the no trespassing, and he sends it to the attorney, the other guy, and he says, listen, we will sue this, but we're also going to pursue criminal trespass. What's your client? So does he want to do this, or does he want to just kind of like let it slide? A couple of days later, they came back and they said that's probably in the best interest of both parties, you know, so we don't waste the court's time, because he would have been in a lot of trouble. But he ended up with a lot of damage, and going forward, he never rode on my flowers again. You know, and you know, tried, like I said, maybe 4 or 5 times in a nice way to talk to him. I said, you know, could you please be careful? I'm trying to get, you know. Yes, I could see if I was like right at the edge.
Yeah.
You know, it could happen, you know, I mean, but I was like probably 3 feet in off the property line. So, it's like my neighbor that just moved, he moved about a year ago. This is hysterical. I'm mowing the grass. I take pretty nice care of yard. I mean, it's not the greatest yard, but it's green, it's swing. And my neighbor comes running over to me, and he says, he's like waving his hands, he's jump up and down. Shut the lawnmower off. What's up? He says, you gotta do me a favor. He says, you've gone over the property line by about 3 feet. Now, there's no fence. The property, I don't know how wide it is, but the property is 1 acre and change. And I said to him, oh, I didn't see, let me show you where it is. So apparently he had marked something in the street, put a dot in the street. He said, the property line. He says, you're cutting the grass on my side. I don't want you cutting my grass. Sorry, no problem. And we finished, what do we do? The next week, I'm mowing the lawn. I ain't paying attention. I'm cutting the grass. I'm going up the lawn, right? Sheriff pulls up in front of my house. Well, the sheriff said I was trespassing. So the sheriff comes over to me and he says to me, you know, he says, your neighbor's complaining that you're trespassing. And I said, I'm mowing the grass.
Ms. Martin, do we have all our recording devices working?
It appears so.
We're good to go electronically.
Believe so.
It's like, you know,
And Mr. Medlin is online and he's ready to go.
it's simple. If you're cutting the grass and you're on
That
my
I
side,
am.
you come over and you say, can you do me a favor? Could you keep
Given we only have one citizen out in the audience, we did advertise this properly, public notice, and okay. Just checking.
Well, yeah.
We ready?
Ready.
Okay, folks, we are going to come to order. This will be the October 28th, 2021 Stokesdale Planning Board meeting. If you would, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Okay, we'll vote. Mr. Nadell,
Aye.
Mr. Hamel,
Aye.
Mr. Angel,
Aye.
Mr. Green,
Aye.
and I'm ayes also. Let's see. Approval of the August 26, 2021 minutes. I'd like to make a motion pertaining to this, given the staff is way behind and having trouble catching up. I'd like to make a motion that we suspend reviewing and voting on any more planning board minutes until we get the March 2021 draft minutes, and that's my motion.
I'd have to second that motion.
It's my idea that we need to hit the pause button. I have appealed to staff, I've appealed to town council members, and we still don't have the March 2021 minutes. There's, staff is, I think, catching up. The town council has hired a new clerk that will be starting soon, so hopefully that will help the staff clear out the backlog. Anybody got any questions or comments?
Yeah, I do. From what I understand, I think you're right. There's a new person coming on board in about a week, from what I heard, the 9th. The only concern I have about suspending this is that it's only going to add, either way, I guess it's a backlog. And I'm not sure what the benefit of it is to not approve them. I see where you're going with it, but this is an independent item which has nothing to do with March, April, May, June, July, et cetera. So I don't see why we would do that, and that's just my own personal opinion on that. I don't see any reason to hold back on just approving these minutes.
Okay, I feel like that will allow the staff to catch up because we're paused, and they can go back and process that set of minutes from March 2021. We're plowing a field here and we've missed a spot. I feel like we need to stop and get caught up and get reset. And so thus my motion. Anyone else got any questions or comments?
My only comments have been that, I understand the backlog and possibly not sufficient enough time to get them, but I guess when we were able to see some draft minutes for August meeting, I kind of it made me a little concerned that we might be headed at this from the wrong direction.
Okay, anyone else?
I have one other just technical question. Is there a legal time frame that minutes have to be done in? In other words, are we obligated to approve them, or there is no legal time frame for that?
Well, I think your question might be better directed towards Mr. Medlin.
Okay. Mr. Med?
There's no definitive. It's just within a reasonable period of time. I mean, it is a duty to review and approve them, but there's no set time frame on that.
Okay, so make sure we're not violating any rule.
Right, no.
Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll call a question. Mr. Nadell?
Nay.
Mr. Hamel?
Aye.
Mr. Angel?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
And I'm aye also. Okay, next item. Rezoning case number 21-09 STPL-08259 for 8370 Prince Edward Road. Mr. Bass, do you have a staff presentation for us.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I will note that notices were sent to the adjacent property owners, applicant, and the applicant of this hearing. This is rezoning case 21-09-STPL-08259. The request is to rezone from AG Agriculture to RS40, single-family residential, for property located at 8370 Prince Edward Road, located on a portion of Guilford County tax parcel 221-900, 8370 Prince Edward Road, Stokesdale, North Carolina, adjacent to the Northridge subdivision near Back Ridge Drive, approximately 12.77 acres. The applicant is Richard S. Caraway. There was some history of a rezoning case for this property, case 4-04. That was denied on December 16, 2004, and the request to rezone from AG to CUPDR. The proposed request is to rezone from AG Agriculture to RS40, single-family residential. The descriptions of the purpose of the districts are included in this report. With regards to the character of the area, this request is in a primarily residential area, is adjacent to the east. Property adjacent to the east is under development as a single-family residential subdivision. The remaining properties are primarily rural residential parcels on 10 or more acres. The portion of the property that is to be rezoned is vacant and undeveloped. To the north, there's a large lot residential development. Then there's Northridge subdivision, which is currently under the development. And then remaining south, east, and west is large lot residential. The property will be served by a private well, a septic system, and public water is available from Northridge subdivision to the property. At this current state, the property is not accessible. The portion of the area to being rezoned is not accessible to a public road, and they will need to provide legal access to in order to develop the property. Based on the possible single-family use, the estimated vehicles per day, the estimated traffic generation is 10 vehicles per day per single-family dwelling. The land use recommendation is the Stokesdale's land use plan adopted in 2007, which recommends residential. Description of the residential development area is that land use designation is intended to preserve Stokesdale's rural setting by establishing a uniform residential density. To achieve this, the following standards are recommended. Minimum lot size, 40,000 square feet, increased natural buffers along the perimeter roads and entrances, plan for interconnected residential development through streets and trails, and elimination of the planned unit development outside the town core. Reviewing the application, the staff considered it consistent with the recommendation of the Stokesdale Land Use Plan recommendation of residential, because RS40 does allow single-family residential uses with a minimum lot size of 40,000 square feet. Staff recommends approval of the request. The requested action is reasonable in the public interest because it provides housing opportunities consistent with adjacent subdivisions. It is consistent with the recommendation of the land use plan, and it is consistent with the development of the adjacent parcels that are under development. This request is consistent with because this request is consistent with the land use plan recommendation of residential. A plan amendment is not required if it's approved. And that concludes my staff recommendation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bass. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor? Yes. I think you can fight your way through the crowd there.
I'm Richard Caraway.
If you, yeah.
8380 Prince Edward Road. Okay. And Mr. Bass said all I was going to say. So, long and short of it, had I been sharper when we reached the agreement with Northridge, I would have included that tract of land because from where my other land lays, there's a natural creek barrier that separates that segment from where I live. So, that's it.
Thank you, sir. Is anyone else that would like to speak in favor? Is anyone online that would like to speak in favor? Hearing none, is anyone that would like to oppose this rezoning? Okay, seeing no one, and hearing no one, we'll move on here. Anyone care to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we recommend approval of the rezoning case number 21-09-STPL-08259 from AG Agricultural to RS40 Single Family Residential of said property at Guilford County Tax Parcel 221900, Stokesdale, North Carolina.
Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
That was you, Mr. Hummel?
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe include a statement of whether you find it in the public interest or reasonable, base it on your recommendation.
Amend the motion to include, it is consistent with the recommendation of land use plan and is consistent with the development of adjacent parcels under development. This request is consistent with the Stokesdale land use plan and recommendation of residential land use classification.
Mr. Hummel, will you accept the amendment?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Bass has provided some larger maps that I think I would like to take a look at if the board was willing.
Are you moving to the next case?
I would like to get a grip on just the whole overview.
I'm looking at this page that has A, B, C, D, et cetera. I'm assuming that C is owned by whoever is developing Northridge.
There's an inventory of the owners on the lower right-hand corner.
Yeah, I saw, yeah, okay, I saw that, but I don't know. Well, I know some of them actually, but my point being, C would be crucial here to, well, in order to join A with Northridge, then C would be crucial here. Of course, it's already RS40.
Mr. Green, I'm rattling papers over here. Would you repeat what you said?
I don't remember. Let's see. Okay. No, this is just for my information. I'm assuming that at some point they want to connect A to Northridge, and in order to do that, C would have to also be a part of that. I mean, are these?
This is showing right here. This Northridge
Yeah.
partial is there joining that.
Okay, that's C. That would be C. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to be sure that there was a chance of, of course, I guess it doesn't matter. It still needs to be whether they own it or not.
I feel like we're killing trees here.
Oh, I see, okay.
This gets a little.
Yeah, okay, they've already got that planned, okay,
Right.
yeah.
That's no different than.
The only
Should
access
show
to
up
here is
very
through
well
here.
on the small screen.
Because if you look on the one that we have underneath here, right, it shows this road
Yeah, so that one in question, right here, yeah.
and over here's a cul-de-sac.
Partially trying to get rezoned.
That's
We
it.
just, yeah. Mhm.
You're gonna just pretty much.
That's the first case.
Now, let's see if the next one is what I was talking about. Yeah.
Right.
That's the cul-de-sac. This comes in right there.
Right.
That one has access.
Right.
It's all one lot. That was gonna cost a bunch.
Yeah, I was just having trouble getting the road configuration fixed in my mind.
This makes sense, this is, you know. And then eventually,
Yeah.
they'll just keep going this way.
Yeah.
And this is an oddball plot.
Yeah.
See if I can use this over, if you're looking to see if I can buy.
Exactly. I was thinking, I was just gonna say that too. Once they'll leave this one blank for now, do these, then they'll come back. You wanna buy this? Once they buy that, then they'll cut it.
Yep. This all makes sense.
And basically, it doesn't show it on here, but there's a couple of dirt roads going up in that he, right? And, they probably paved one out.
Yep.
See, was the existing plat. And then, of course, the other third item we got is this is the revised one here. Yeah, you'll notice that dead giveaways is right here versus made more of a straight leg out of that, which is part of the other cases we're gonna look at.
Okay. I think I'm all better. Wouldn't put them up just yet, guys. Okay, any of the board members have any questions or comments for anybody here?
Yeah, no,
Everybody good?
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second, we'll call a question. Mr. Nadell?
Aye.
Mr. Hamel?
Aye.
Mr. Angel?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
aye.
And I'm aye also. Okay. Major subdivision case 14-01-STPL-00130 Northridge subdivision master sketch revision. Mr. Bass, do you have a few words for us?
Yes, sir.
Before he begins, I have a quick question.
Okay.
I'm a little confused why we are hearing a case to make a decision on a property that has not been rezoned yet, that is up to be rezoned after this case. It appears to me that the zoning issue should be first before we make a decision on what we're allowing to happen to the property.
That's what we just did, I think. Right, Mr. Bass?
You made a recommendation on the zoning to go to the town council. What they're trying to do
yeah.
now, if you are, you can only give it you can table it, or you can give it a conditional approval based on attaining the proper zoning, whichever one you feel comfortable doing.
I'm talking about case number 6 and 7.
Yeah, they're both related.
They're both related, correct. So again, that's not the one we just voted on. This is the other one with Northridge. So again, why would we, unless I'm missing something here, case 6, which is case number 14-01 SDPL 00130, is asking for a modification of the master sketch plan.
Correct.
And case 21-09 SDPL 08260 is asking for rezoning. Wouldn't we want to rezone before we ask for a modification in the sketch plan?
Well, that could be done that way, Mr. Nadell, but the next two cases, staff has added conditions that the applicant will have to make if we vote on either one. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Bass, but I think the applicant has added additional property to the original Northridge subdivision, and we just voted to recommend rezoning that property.
Right.
And now we are looking at a case wherein we're going to vote to revise the master sketch plan for the original Northridge subdivision.
Correct.
And then the third one will be taking action as to whether or not to approve the Phase 6 preliminary plat. So I think we're in the right order.
Okay, then maybe I misunderstood it, and I apologize.
Well,
okay.
Just so long as there's a condition that it's based on the rezoning approval by the town council.
Okay.
Pending that approval, right.
Yeah. So we are on our second agenda item, the master sketch revision. If you'll proceed, Mr. Bass.
Yes, sir. Of course, this subdivision sketch plat was originally approved in 2014, and they have to update the sketch plan to incorporate the additional land that they would like to add to the subdivision. So it's located on the north side of Prince Edward Road, approximately 300 feet from the intersection of North Carolina Highway 68 and Oak Ridge Township. Includes tax parcels 164,295, 164,221, 218,068, 164,222, 221,900, a portion of that. Then, of course, the application to rezone, a portion of 221,900 from AG to RS40 is pending. This is a request to revise the master sketch to add approximately 16 acres to Phase 6 of the approved master sketch. This will result in adding 2 additional lots to Phase 6 of the subdivision. The proposed vision was reviewed by the Guilford County Technical Review Committee with a recommendation of conditional approval. Under a conditional approval, the applicant must revise the sketch plat to address the comments and resubmit for final staff review. And for your reference, I did attach a copy of the TRC decision letter that was submitted to the applicant, which includes a list of conditions. And a part of that is the pending rezoning application must be approved by the town council. So staff did recommend conditional approval for this.
Okay, anyone want to make a motion? Okay, I'll make a motion that we revise the master sketch plan to add approximately 16 acres to Phase 6 with conditional approval as recommended by the staff, referencing the technical review committee letter dated October 6, 2021. Mr. Medlin, is that sufficient?
Yes, it is, because it also does require the pending rezoning be approved. So yeah, I think that covers everything.
I'll second it, Mark Nadell.
Okay, is anyone here that would like to speak in favor? Is anyone here that would like to oppose? Anyone online that has any comments? Hearing none, the matter will rest with the board. Guys, anybody got any questions or comments?
I have none.
Nope.
We all good?
All good.
Okay, we'll call a question. Mr. Nadell?
Aye.
Mr. Hamel?
Aye.
Mr. Angel?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
And I'm aye also. Next agenda item. Major subdivision case 21-09 STPL-08260 Northridge subdivision phase 6 preliminary plat. Mr. Bass, do you have a staff report for us?
Yes, sir. So this is a request to approve a preliminary plat based on the conditional approval of the sketch plat. So this focuses on solely on phase 6, which is the final phase of Northridge subdivision. The property is located north of Prince Edward and Pilot View Drive intersection, Guilford County tax parcel 0164222 and 221-900 part. Sorry, it looks like that's a...
I'm missing a zero from that.
Yeah, it's missing a zero on that. So it should read 221900 part. And again, the application to rezone the property is pending town council approval. This is a request to approve the preliminary plat for the 6th and final phase of Northridge subdivision. This phase includes 19 lots, new street right-of-way, and common area, which is basically a 2-lot increase over the previous proposed phase 6. The proposed plat was reviewed by the Guilford County Technical Review Committee with a recommendation of conditional approval. With conditional approval, the applicant will be required to revise the preliminary plat to address comments and resubmit for final staff review. The decision letter with comments from the TRC is attached to this report. It's pretty much most of what was most of the comments that was for sketch plat, but again, it is pending rezoning.
Okay. Mr. Bass, did this case require a fee to be paid to the town of Stokesdale?
They did pay the fee. They did pay the fee
That's
to the
paid,
town. They paid the fees.
Well, the receipt's not included in our paperwork, so that's just occurred to me. I didn't know what the town charged or how that was handled. So we have the money. We're good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone that would like to speak in favor? Is anyone online that would like to speak in favor? Was anyone here that's opposed? Is there anyone online that's opposed? Hearing no one, the matter will rest with the board. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to recommend approval of the case 21-09-STPL-08260 to approve the preliminary plat for the sixth and final phase of North Risk subdivision. Of course, this is pending the earlier approval of the partial from AG to RS40.
This is a conditional approval, Your Honor?
Conditional approval. I amend that. Yes.
I'll second that.
Yeah,
And including the recommendations from the technical review committee.
I wouldn't mind. I would like to suggest that y'all add that date here.
Of the October 6, 2021 date from the technical review committee.
Is that okay with you, Mr. Green? Who had the seconds?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we're good to go then.
Who seconded that?
Second, yes, Jim Green.
Y'all have any questions or comments?
Nope.
We good?
I'm good.
Okay, we'll call the question and vote. Mr. Nadell?
Aye.
Mr. Hamel?
Aye.
Mr. Angel?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
And I am aye also. Okay, our next item is to review the 2022 Planning Board meeting schedule. Y'all should have that in your file. I had it, I've lost it already.
It's on the back of the,
The back of the letter. Yeah.
Well, let me just borrow your copy here. In reference to a letter that Miss Martin directed to us on October the 25th, she has checked all the applicable schedules and dates in the town hall and is recommending the current change to the schedule that will be effective January the 1st, 2021.
22. Oh, this is this 21?
It's 22, isn't it?
Okay, so
22, yeah.
we have a meeting date that conflicts with Thanksgiving, November the 24th, and the town clerk is recommending we change that to November the 17th. And then the December meeting would be December the 22nd, 2022.
There is no conflict with that date. The town probably, most likely will not take that date as a holiday. They'll just take that Friday.
Okay. I'll make a motion that the planning board adopts the recommendations from Town Clerk Dale Martin dated October the 25th, 2021, with the attached schedule for the 2021 meeting schedule that will be effective January the 1st, 2021.
22.
22.
22.
Yeah, that's,
Well,
it should be 22.
it says 21, but I think we need this to be 22, right, Ms. Martin?
It
If-
should
if-
be.
Yeah, forgive me, I didn't catch it.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
I'll second that motion. Mark Nadell.
Okay,
Now the recommendation is to move November 24th back to November 17 and leave December 22nd as it is.
That's correct.
Okay. That's, yeah, I'm on board with that.
any questions or comments from the board? Okay, we're good to go. We'll call a question. Mr. Nadell?
Aye.
Mr. Hamel?
Aye.
Mr. Angel?
Aye.
Mr. Green?
Aye.
And I'm aye also. That brings us to our announcements. Any decision of the planning board may be appealed to the Stokesdale Town Council within 15 days of the planning board decision date by contacting the town clerk with a written notice of appeal. There is a $200 per case filing fee. Number 2, the Stokesdale Town Council meeting will be on Tuesday, November the 9th, 2021 at 7 p.m. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. You did a fine job.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good seeing you, Mr. Caraway. How are you? Good to see you. How have you been? Been fine. Hope you have. So far. You too, sir.